Okay, so good day everybody. So I'll be discussing the history, nature, and background of volleyball. So I think everybody is familiar with the sport. Hindi lahat marunong or magaling, pero siguro halos lahat nakakaintindi. So let's start. Volleyball is a team sport, of course, played by two teams on a playing court divided by a net. So, ang objective ng laro is to send the ball over the net and ground it on the opponent's court and prevent the same effort by the opponent. So, ang goal po dito para makapuntos, kailangan ang bola ay tumapak sa floor ng kalaban. Or para naman hindi makapuntos ang kalaban, huwag hahayaan na tumapak ang bola sa floor ninyo. Okay? So, sino nga ba ang nag-imbento ng larong volleyball and why it was invented? So this person right here, named William Morgan, was the one who invented the sport volleyball back in 1895. So, konting trivia lang or side fact, the reason why volleyball was invented is because of basketball also. So, ang basketball kasi at volleyball, isa lang yung lugar kung saan sila na-invent. It's the Young Men's Christian Association or the YMCA. It is a school at the Massachusetts. So, ang basketball, unang na-invento siya sa volleyball. The reason why basketball was invented back then was because in that moment or in that time, winter season sa kanila, sa ibang bansa, excuse me. Tapos, they have to keep the students active or physically active. Kaya, gumawa sila or nag-imbento sila ng isang laro na pwedeng indoor para ma-make sure na lagi pa rin silang physically active. So, that is why basketball was invented. Okay? Ulitin ko, basketball was invented para magkaroon ng leisure or ginagawa or any physical activity participation yung mga estudyante kahit nasa loob lang sila. Kasi nga, winter season, so mahirap magpapawis, mahirap lumabas, sobrang lamig. So para mas makip nila na active yung kanilang katawan, they introduced basketball. However, they have seen or observed basketball na masyadong violent daw. Okay? Too much physical contact. So, may mga nag-aaway, ating ni paniku, and so on and so forth. So, they have thought or think of a game na less yung physical contact na pero same din na it requires physical activity participation. So, doon na pumasok yung volleyball. Okay? The first name of volleyball was Mintonet. Okay, nasa PowerPoint yan. Before siya tinawag na volleyball, Mintonet muna po ang tawag. So, ma'am, bakit po naging volleyball ang tawag sa kanya? So, they have observed the nature of the sport or the game. Diba sa volleyball, yung bola nagva-volley from one side to the other. So, that is why volleyball was named after the nature of the sport. Okay? So, ma'am, what is FIVB? So, the FIVB kasi develop a major world media and entertainment sport through world-class marketing. So, dito ang FIVB, ito yung mga nagpapalaro sa mga volleyball league. Diba? Meron din sa basketball, meron din silang mga federation, meron din sa volleyball. So, let's proceed now naman. Oh, by the way pala, in the year 1910, Mr. Elwood S. Brown, the YMCA director at that time, introduced the volleyball sa Pilipinas. So, 1910 po siya na-introduce sa atin. Hindi po mismo noong 1895 kung kailan siya na-imbento. It was in 1910 by Mr. Elwood S. Brown. ELWOODS and then Brown. Kung 1910 siya na-introduced, approximately 115 years old na yung volleyball dito sa Pilipinas. And also, the volleyball was played by the soldiers noong World War I. Okay? Because it is really engaging and entertaining and it is a team sport. So, kailangan ng mga players. Sa volleyball po ba, ilan po ba yung mga naglalaro sa loob? 6 sila na nakapasok. So, it is indeed a team sport. Kaya mas naging engaging, entertaining, at mas sumikat yung laro. Kasi nga, it requires physical activity participation. Pag wala silang ginagawa or leisure time, naglalaro sila ng volleyball. Okay? So, these are the common terms in volleyball. We have the ace, attack, hit, block, dig, rotation, set, spike. So, those are just the common terms in volleyball. Pero I know you have yung mga iba pa na terms na ginagamit na wala sa PowerPoint natin. Okay? So, I want you to listen very carefully and understand because you'll be having a quiz after this lesson, probably next meeting. And paano naman yung scoring procedures po sa volleyball? So, ang standard, sabi dito, a rally point system is used, meaning a point is scored on every serve regardless of which team served. Points are scored when a team successfully lands the ball on the opponent's court or if the opposing team commits a fault. The offensive team will surely score on a defensive miss or out of bounds hit or outside hit, and the defensive team naman will score on an offensive miss pag na-miss ng offensive team yung palo, hindi napasok o nag-over, or out of bounds hit or serve into the net. So, paano pa yung scoring procedure? Volleyball matches are made up of sets. Standard by standard, merong 3 sets at merong 5 sets. So, kapag 3 sets lang siya, that is raised to 2 sets. Meaning, kung sino yung unang makadalawang set, siya yung panalo. Now, the first and the second set, nung 3 sets, is up to 25. Tapos, the remaining last set is up to 15 lang. Whereas, yung sa 5 sets naman, kung 5 sets yung laro, yung first to 4 sets is up to 25 and the last set or the 5th set is up to 15. Now, question, hindi porket po na sinabi ko, sabi ng mamanggamong 25 in first to 4 sets, bakit itang ayaw ben ko ang gayang 30, ang gayang 35, gayang 32? So, doon po pumapasok yung tinatawag nilang deuce. From the word itself, deuce, dalawa. Kapag umabot po ng 23 all, yung, halimbawa, ang Team A ang score niya 23, ang Team B ang score niya 23. So, ibig sabihin, sabi ko hanggang 25 lang. Kung sino yung unang maka-25, 2 consecutive points, 23, 24, 25, siya yung mananalo. Pero, for example, the Team A scored 1, scored the point, so 24 na lang. Tapos din Team B, 23 la pa din. And then yung next point, ang nakascore yung Team B. So meaning, pareho na sila ng 24. Hindi na pwedeng matapos sa 25 yung score nun. Matatapos na siya sa 26. Okay? Kaya ayun po ang big sabihin ng deuce. So, mapalyari na pwedeng mayari ang 30-28, 26-28. Basta dapat may 2 points or sinong makascore ng 2 points consecutively, siya yung mananalo. Pero ma'am, what if ang score po is 23-21? Tapos ang Team A po, nakapuntos po siya ng 2 beses. Naging 25 siya. Tapos yung Team B, 21. Panalo na po ba nun? Or tapos na po ba nun yung set? Yes, tapos na yung set. Kasi hindi naman sila pareho ng score. Magkakaroon lang ng deuce kapag nagpareho sila ng score sa 24 mark pataas. Okay? So, pwede yung umabot kahit 50. Basta kung sinong unang makapuntos ng 2 straight, siya yung makakakuha ng set. Ma'am, paano naman po yung sa 3rd set or sa 5th set? 'Di ba? Yung sa 3rd set ng 3 sets, up to 15 lang yan. So, katulad din kapag umabot ng kapag ang both teams ay umabot ng 14 all, magkakaroon ulit ng deuce, raised to 2 ulit siya. consecutively. So, matatapos siya dapat ng 16. Ma'am, paano po pag naging 15 all? So, 7 up to 17 na naman kanto. Hanggang mayari ya or ma-break ya, makascore lang 2 points straight, then metong team. So, ibig sabihin po, hindi lang talaga usually natatapos sa 25 or sa 15. But kung meron mga liga-liga sa labas, sometimes ang laro nila nakadepende kasi yan sa rules ng mga nagpapaliga or committee. Kung ano ang sinabi nilang rule, yun po yung susundin. For example, sabi nila, ang rule natin, isang set lang up to 25 no-dos. Ibig sabihin, kahit 24 all kayo, kung sino man ang maging 25, siya yung mananalo. Okay? So, nakadepende lagi yan sa rules ng committee or nagpapaliga. For example, sabi niya, one set raised to 25 with deuce. Ibig sabihin, may deuce. Pwede yung pag 24 all, first to get 2 points. And so on and so forth. Minsan naman, isang set lang yung laro, tapos raised to 31. Tapos sabihin, no deuce. Nakadepende na siya. So, nagva-vary yan. Pero when we are talking about the standard, sa mga school tournaments, AAP, Pro Leagues, sa mga, sa SCUA, sa mga ibang schools division tournaments, sinisundan nila usually yung standard na 5 sets tapos may deuce. Okay? So, that's it for the scoring procedure. Next, sa equipment, of course, kailangan ng bola ng volleyball and the court. So, let's talk about the court first. I'll just draw a laser here. Ayan. So, this is a laser. So, this is the court. Ayan po ang sukat niya. Ang court, meron siyang end line, meron din siyang attack line, at meron din siyang center line. Okay? This is the end line, this one, attack line, and the center line. And meron ding front zone, itong zone na to, at back zone or back row. Saan po pwedeng mag-service? Ayan, service area. Ito yung service area nila. Pero bawal po silang lumagpas dito pag nagsiservice yung buong linya na yan. Kailangan, may imaginary line tayo dito, kunwari straight to ha. Basta itang diretso ko yan, ang gala mong Ken. Ela pwedeng lumagpas ketang service. Kening linya ning court. Pag di nagpasla, point ng kalaban. Every error, every fault, every violation is a point to the opponent's team. Okay? So, ayan po yung court natin. And also, we have the volleyball. This one, yung may leather na may tahe, ito yung ginamit ng unang panahon. This is their first volleyball na bola. Okay? As compared to now, may kasa na yung brand. Dito kasi, ang gumawa nito, Spalding siya. Kasi nga, di ba, magkalapit lang yung year kung kailan na-invento yung dalawang sport, yung basketball at volleyball. So, ang basketball kasi, di ba, gumagawa, may mga parang company ng Spalding na gumagawa ng bola ng basketball. What else? Of course, we need net and net post nung mergo itali ing net nung ngalayang posti and antenna. So, ano po yung purpose ng antenna na to? So, as you observe this one, atsukening antenna tapos atsukening net. Kapag ang bola tumama sa antenna, that is outside. Kapag ang bola lumagpas sa antenna, dito siya, bawa, kaniya miras, kaniya dinalan, outside na nun. Basta lumagpas or nag-touch sa antenna, that is called as outside. So, meaning, pag pumapalo, dapat ang bola, nasa loob lang sila ng antenna. By the way, dalawa po yan ha. Magkabilaan. And other leagues do not have antenna because it depends upon the availability of the equipment. So if there is no antenna, they might not use antenna. Okay? Pero pag meron, of course, they are going to use it and they are going to follow the rules sa antenna. Pag nag-touch sa antenna, side. Halimbawa, nag-service ako, tapos tumama sa antenna. That is a point to the opponent's team or opponent side. Kapag nag-serve ako, lumagpas, dito siya dumaan, outside din. Pag pumalo ako, dumaan siya sa labas ng antenna, kahit nandito pa siya sa net, kahit miras siya Kenny. Okay? Kunwari bilogan. Outside niya pa din. Basta kailangan aliyalalagpas o iniing boundary da. King bola. So those are the equipment. And of course, let's talk about naman yung equipment or yung mga proper attire. Okay? Players should wear proper or comfortable clothes. They should wear shoes na pang volleyball or running or rubber shoes. They should wear, of course, if they want for safety, yung mga knee pads and so on and so forth. Kung ano pa yung mga kailangan nila. At kailangan po yung suot nila, hindi masikip e naman sobrang luwalas. Itang sakto mo at komportable lang makagal. Okay? Kasi pag hindi proper din yung sinusuot natin, it can cause also injury. Or pwedeng mahihirapan tayo. We cannot perform our full potential if we are not wearing comfortable and proper clothes. Okay, so next we have, let's proceed to the volleyball positions. So sabi nga na kanina sa isang team, merong 6 na volleyball players sa loob ng court. Okay, so let's discuss what are those. Let's start first with the, ayan, usually ayan yung kanilang rotation. Excuse me. So let's start with the setter. The setter is considered as the brain of the team. Sabi dito, the setter's main job is to take pass from another player and set it to the attacking player. So the setter is considered as the main contributor of the offense or the brain of the team because he's the one who set the plays, who sets the offense of their team. With the absence of a setter, it will be hard for the team to easily gain a point because kapag walang setter sa loob, usually ang bola dinadala lang sa mga open spikers. So, ibig sabihin, kung paulit-ulit na ganun, mababasa agad ng kalaban kung saan napupunta yung bola. So, mas mabilis nilang napupwestuhan sa blockings and then sa pag-receive ng palo ng spiker. So, as much as possible daw, the setter should have a delicate touch because siya yung nagtotoss or nagsiset ng bola sa spiker niya. Or kahit kung sino man ang gusto niyang isetan. Kasi kung hindi maayos din yung pag-set, of course, mahirapan din yung pumapalo na makapuntos ng maayos. But of course, if you want to have, or if kung gusto mo ng maayos na set, kailangan daw may receive na maayos. Okay? But sometimes you have to adjust. Okay? Not all the time you can have a very good first ball. So as a setter, you have to always adjust and expect those receives na hindi gaanong perfect. So that's it for the setter. Ang setter po, pwede po siyang pumalo, pwede din naman siyang mag-block, pwede rin naman siyang mag-receive, pwede siyang mag-serve, of course. Hindi porket setter ang kanyang role, mag-set Nemo. What if nasa likod siya, tapos sa kanya pupunta yung bola? Alinewari kwanan. Kasi sabi na wari, kaya ko na yan kasi setter ko. So, dapat second ball yain ka na ako. Alim makanta. Kasi pag dyan nakikengkilob, you have to do, or you have to play all around. All the roles. Sometimes you have to set, you have to receive, sometimes you have to spike, you have to block. So you have to do all of this. The reason why there is just this, the names or their positions, it's just their specialty or they should be good at that. Meaning, yun yung parang specialization nila. So, usually sa kanila yung second ball, but not all the time, sila yung humahawak ng second ball. Lalong-lalo na kung sila yung nag-receive ng bola. Okay? So meaning, porket setter ka, kabut ka mo mag-set. You have to do it. You can spike, you can block, you can receive. Okay? All you have to do para makapuntos or hindi mag-drop ang bola sa inyong side. Okay? So next, ilan po pala ang setter sa loob? Isa lang. Okay? Opposite hitter o tinatawag din nalang 4 or the right side hitter. So these players need to be a perfect balance of both offense and defense. Kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina sa role ng setter, it's not just about setting. Okay? Or tossing the ball to the spiker or to the middle blockers. Kailangan lahat ginagawa. Kailangan mag-offense ng opposite hitter, pumalo. Hindi naman porket sinabing right side hitter, data mong bola ketang right side, itang papaluan na. No. Okay, it's just their specialty. So, hindi lang puro opensa, dapat magaling din silang dumepensa. Because it all starts with a good pass. If you do not have a good pass, walang magandang receive, walang magandang pasa ng bola, mahihirapan yung setter na iset at mahihirapan din yung spiker na puntusan yung bola. Okay? Ang work po ng opposite, of course, offense, pumapalo sa right side, pero hindi ibig sabihin nun, puro yamo right in palo na. Pwede din siyang umikot. Depende sa play na binigay ng kanilang setter. And usually po, ka-angle ng opposite yung setter. Usually, but not all the time. Because it always depends upon the coach and the players. How will they rotate their team? Next, outside hitter. By the way, isang opposite po ang kailangan sa loob. Isang setter, isang opposite. Now, outside hitter, also known as the left side hitter, and it is considered as the lead attacker. So, the outside hitter must be the player who hits and blocks in front left side of the court. Again, pero hindi ibig sabihin, puro left side lang yung pagpalo niya. Okay? Koto, nasa right side yung bola, hindi ko pupuntahan kasi dapat left side. Hindi ganun. Sabi nga, nakadepende pa rin sa play ng setter kung saan niya gustong ipapalo or ipadala yung bola. Ang outside hitter po is considered as the lead attacker because almost kapag walang receive, pag break ball, laging binibigay sa outside hitter. So, kailangan meron kang outside hitter na magaling pumuntos at magaling dumepensa. Kasi nga, hindi naman porket outside hitter, pulo ka na lang palo. You have to block, you have to receive, you have to defend. Okay, sometimes you have to set the ball. Okay, it's an all around. Sabi ko nga kanina, again and again, hindi porket na outside hitter ka, setter ka, ito mo yung gawan mo. No, you have to do it or do everything. It takes just the ball na hindi mag-land sa floor ninyo. But of course, it's considered as the lead attacker. So there are two outside hitters, the first spiker and the second spiker. So, meron na tayong isang setter, is opposite, dalawang hitter. So, 4 na yon. Ano pa yung dalawa? Okay? Next, we have the middle blocker, also known as the middle hitter, and ideally the tallest player. So, the main role of this middle blocker, is to lead the first line of defense. The first line of defense kasi is blocking. Pangalawa lang yung pag-receive or pag-dig ng bola galing sa spiker ng kalaban. Usually po, ang mga middle hitter ay matataas, but not all the time, no? Ideally lang siya. Or it should be, dapat ang middle mo, dapat mataas. Kasi nga, ang main role niya is to block. It's the first line of defense. But it is also called as the middle hitter because the middle hitter or the middle blocker can also hit the ball or spike the ball. Alin mo kabod mag-block, pwede rin pumalo. Kaya nga, pumupuntos din sila hindi lang sa blockings, pati sa opensa or sa spiking, sa hit. So, usually po, ang middle blocker po ay mataas but not all the time. Okay? It's just ideally dapat Pero hindi ibig sabihin, ang middle blocker lang yung nagbablock. Lahat ng nasa front row, nagbablock yan. Okay? Usually kapag may receive, maganda yung pasa, sa middle po, binibigay yung set or yung bola kasi mas mabilis matutusan. So last, libero. The position can be confusing daw for non-volleyball players because ang libero ay iba yung kulay yung damit. So kapag may nakita kayo na iba yung shade ng damit pero same lang yung team, it means siya po ang libero. Ano po yung work niya? Sabi, they can only play on the back row of the court and are ideal person to receive the ball or the hit from the opposing team. They are the ideal person. Ang primary role po nila is to receive, to dig yung bola galing sa kalaban. Okay? Pero, hindi ibig sabihin nun, puro ganun na lang ginagawa nila. Sometimes, they can also set and they can also spike. Pero, there are restrictions. Kung kailan pwedeng pumalo at kung paano dapat siya pumalo or paano mag-set. So, how is that? So, let's try to go back to the court. Itang court tamo. Wait lang. Just explain to you. Ayan. O, ito na lang. So, here is a sample of a rotation. Ang outside, ang ka-angle niya po ay outside hitter. Ayan. Angle sila. Ang opposite, ang ka-angle niya ay setter. Ang middle, ang ka-angle niya ay yung libero. Pero, before pa pumunta yung libero dito, si middle muna. So, kailan siya papalitan? Ganito kasi yan. Kung sino ang ka-angle mo, for example, outside hitter ka, kung sino yung ka-angle mo, kailangan mo siyang ino-observe lagi. If nag-service yung ka-angle mo, ibig sabihin, ikaw na yung papasok. So, bakit po dito pinapalitan ng middle yung libero? Or pinapalitan ng libero yung middle pag nasa likod na siya? Because, sometimes, or madalas, kasi ding middle attackers or middle blocker, matas la rin. So, magkasakit lang mag-sweep king floor. Magkasakit lang mag-dive Kenny, mag-dive ka rin. Kaya, papalitan dala ding libero. Ma'am, tuwing kailan po papalitan? No? Example, iikot na, magsiservice na yung middle na to. Tapos, ang mangyayari nun, ang isang middle na nandito, siya yung pupunta sa harap. After mag-service ng middle, halimbawa, ito yung middle, nag-service, nakapuntos yung kalaban. Ibig sabihin, pwede na siyang palitan ng libero kapag nakapoint na yung kalaban. Pero, kapag nag-service yung middle attacker, tapos service ace, siya ulit. Hindi siya pwedeng palitan ng libero. At hindi rin siya pwedeng palitan sa rally mismo. Halimbawa, mag-service yun. Tapos ongoing yung rally, bigla na yung palitan ng libero. Bawal yon. Kapag nakapuntos na yung kalaban, dun pa lang siya papalitan ng libero. Ngayon, kailan po babalik yung middle? Kapag nasa harap na yung libero, sa rotation nila, dun siya papalitan. Kaya hindi po pwedeng pumunta sa front row yung libero. Hindi siya pwedeng mag-block at hindi siya pwedeng mag-service. Pero pwede siyang mag-set, pwede din siya mag-spike. Pero may restrictions lang. Okay? Kailan po siya pwedeng mag-spike at saka mag-set? Sample. Yan. So, kunwari, ito yung back zone and front zone, ha? Same lang dito, back zone and front zone. So, kunwari, nandito yung libero. Nasa zone 6. Yan. Tapos, itong zone 3 na to, ito yung middle. Itong zone 2, ito yung opposite. Itong zone 1, ito yung spiker. At saka ito din. Spiker din siya. Ito naman yung center. Kunwari nag-service ang opposite, iikot yung rotation nila niyan. Ang rotation nila, ang pag-ikot niya clockwise. Kapag nakapuntos ang kalaban, or nakapuntos kayo, for example, ang number 1 galing sa service. Nag-service siya, tapos nakapuntos ang kalaban, ikot sila. Pag nakapuntos kayo, iikot kayong isa, kaya hindi na pwedeng umulit ng service yung isang tao kung nakapuntos na yung kalaban niya. Pero, halimbawa, inning number 1, o ongoing rally, may error lareta. Same ulit, iya ulit mag-serve. Pero pag may kapuntos na lang, kailangan niya pumuntos para umikot ulit. Okay? So, paano yung sa middle dito? Kapag umikot na to, naging yung middle na nasa zone 3, pupunta na sa zone 2, tapos mag-service na siya, papasok na yung middle kasi magka-angle nga sila. Pag nag-service yung isa, ka-angle mo, ikaw yung papasok. Ngayon, pag papasok na yung middle na nasa likod, papalitan na siya ng libero. Or I mean, yung libero na nasa likod, papalitan na siya ng middle para kaharap niya at yung middle. Tapos, itang middle kanta, mag-service siya pa mo. Kapag dinurot siya ulit, karina pa mo pwedeng palitan ng libero. So, ibig sabihin, ang pinapalitan ng libero, yung dalawang middle. Pwede pong isa lang yung libero nila, pwedeng dalawa. Okay? Depende. Kahit sino, basta papalitan nila. Okay lang. Kahit dito lang sila magpalitan. Pag dito po kasi, nagsusub na sila. So, pag middle at saka libero, sa likod lang naman, nasa end line lang naman yung palitan nila. Or nasa back zone. Hindi na kailangan pumunta sa front zone. So, dun po pumapasok yung libero. Ang role po niya, sweeper. Siya yung nagsusweep. Make sure na ang bola nadidig or napapas niya. As much as possible. Ang libero po, usually, sila yung mga medyo maliliit. Kasi mas mabilis silang tumakbo, mabilis silang mag-dive, and so on and so forth. Okay? So, ito po yung sample ng rotation. Yan. Ito yung mga zone. Zone 1, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Ganyan yung ikot niya clockwise. So, example, o ining libero ay yung middle at yun ay Kenny. Middle. Ang po ini middle yo. Ngayon mag-service ini dumurot siya kanteng rotation do. Middle, miras na Kenny mag-service na. Ining 3, miras siya Kenny. Ining 4, miras siya Kenny. Itang 5 na middle, miras siya keng harap. So, bago mo taharap, ining middle ini o ining libero, palit kenin na lang mag-switch ning middle. Ing middle ka tamunta na harap. Tapos, ining middle kening mag-service, halimbawa, may kapuntos la rin kalaban. Ining middle kanta, palitan na nening libero. Yan naman yung palitan. Okay, ganun po yung ikot niya. Yan po yung role ng libero. Paano po siya pwedeng mag-spike? Dahil ang libero nasa likod, pwede siyang mag-spike ng standing spike lang. Siya pwedeng tumalon. Pwede rin naman siyang mag-set. Okay? Basta hindi siya lalagpas sa attack line. Pag tumapak or lumagpas sa attack line, kapag ang libero, that is, lalo na pag ini-spike na yung bola, nag-step siya sa attack line, that is considered as a violation. Okay? Pati na yung sa mga back row attackers or players. For example, nasa likod yung isang outside hitter. Gustong bigyan ng bola. Pwede siyang pumalo basta hindi siya tatapak sa attack line or lalagpas sa attack line. Okay? So, pwede rin silang umiscore kahit nasa likuran lang sila. Kaya meaning po, pwede rin umiscore ang libero. Okay? Bawa, itang third ball, iyang magpasa tapos ay na-receive ng kalaban. Puntos siya karerekto. So, hindi ibig sabihin libero, hindi sila pwedeng umatake, sila pwedeng tumalon, hindi na sila nakakapuntos. Same lang sa lahat, pati naman sa setter. Paano nakakapuntos ang setter? Pwede pag dinrap niya, pag pinalo niya, pag block niya, gano'n. Pero hindi po pwedeng pumuntos ang libero na galing sa block ha, kasi hindi sila pumupunta sa front row. So, meaning, kung wala ka sa front row, hindi ka naman pwedeng mag-block. At hindi rin po sila pwedeng mag-service. So, yun po yung positions, volleyball positions nila. So, for the last, let's have the safety principles that they have to consider while in playing volleyball. First, proper warm-up and cool-down. So, this is your last pat fit. So, ibig sabihin, patana kayo ang term na warm-up ang pong cool-down. Warm-up is different from stretching. Okay? Warm up just means to warm up your body. Pag warming up your body, ibig sabihin po, may kakapali nyo. Pakapal yan na. Aline, ing stretching kasi aliwaya. Ing purpose na ning stretching, ing king muscles you, para extend talo, para ila mabibigla pag pinalo ka, or so on and so forth. Ing warm up naman, para ma-improve rin kaya katamong blood flow. Okay? Katulad lang po yan ng mga sasakyan. Bago paandaran or bago mako, ing sakin, pakapal yan de pa. Ano bang mangyayari kapag halimbawa, papasok ako sa work, payandaran king motor, tapos mako na akong agad, ako na pakapal yan. Everyday gagawan ko ito. Masira yung sakin. So, kalupag kaya katamo. Pag ita mo mag-warm up, most likely, we increase the risk of having an injury. Okay? Or mabibiglata mo katawan. And also, proper cool down. Because cool down is for rest and recovery. Para ma-prevent natin yung injuries or ma-reduce natin yung risk and na-restore, na-recover yung ating mga muscles from high intensity physical activity or vigorous exercises. So that's really important. Next, appropriate equipment, of course, sabi ko nga kanina, you have to check the equipments. Kailangan ng bolang ginagamit natin, bolang pang volleyball. Ang net na ginagamit natin, hindi yung karaniwang na net, yung net talaga na pang volleyball. And also, you have to check the court. Okay? Check for hazards. Baka ang court nyo pala is marami siyang mga kanto-kanto. Diba sa volleyball, dive dito, dive doon para lang hindi ma-drop yung bola. So you have to check if may hazards or hindi pantay-pantay or may mga bato-bato sa floor. You have to check it. Okay? Because it's for your safety also. And also, sinabi ko na kanina, yung proper or comfortable clothes. Okay? Pasok na din dito yung court conditioning. Physical conditioning, you have to condition yourself. So, diba, meron nga sa ngayon, UAAP, ang dami-daming na i-injured. So, we do not really know the reason why maraming may injured because hindi naman kasi porket may warm up kampong ang cooldown ay naka-ma-injured. Okay? Ang injury kasi hindi lang naman yung pag ka may warm up, ma-injured ka. Pag may warm up ka, ali ka ma-injured. So, we cannot say that because accidents happen anytime, anywhere. So, kung hindi nakakondisyon yung katawan natin, mas prone tayong ma-injured, matapilok, or and so on and so forth. So, kung nakakondisyon yung katawan natin, mas naliless natin yung risk na ma-injured tayo. But of course, we cannot really say kung ma-injured ka or alina ka ma-injured pag gawa mini. Kasi nga, mo naman balo ka pinandatang. So, we just have to be prepared. Para maging prepared tayo, you have to condition yourself. And proper communication para maiwasan yung banggaan at maiwasan na mag-drop yung bola sa gitna ng dalawang player. So, mas masakit daw yung at yun na kayong harap, may paigwa, kaysa aking malaot siya at tatagalan me. Okay? Sayang yung puntos. And of course, hydration. Kailangan po well-hydrated ang mga players kasi pagod sila. Okay? So, kailangan well-hydrated. Pero hindi naman po yung minom kang metong litro pag mag-time out ko. So, alin naman masanting ito. Sipo tayo nakamilk down. Okay? So, those are just the safety principles that they have to consider, of course, and they must consider. Kasi kailangan yan to ensure safety at nalolower natin yung risk natin na mag-acquire ng mga injury or any accident. Okay, so that's it for our discussion. Make sure to prepare yourself for next meeting because you'll have quiz. Okay, I'll just post some announcements sa Google Classroom natin for other more announcements. So I'll see you next meeting.